Fatiha. Selamun Aleyküm. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salatu vesselamu ala Resulina Muhammedin seyyidina ve ilahi meded ya Resulullah meded salat ve sallallahu meded ya meşahid destur ve ala şabla farzan sanşa Muhammeden meded tarikatuna sahba vel hayr vel cemiyye. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. El-mücadad mihade vel cibale avtadad. Allah azze ve celle sadakallahu azim. Allah her şeyi hikmetle yaratmış.
Allah Almighty created everything based on wisdom.
Onun hikmetine çok az insan vakıf olur.
There are only a few people who may reach that wisdom.
İlmin desen Allah azze ve celle'nin ilmi hudut diye bir şey yok.
And when it comes to the knowledge of Allah Almighty, there's no such thing as a limit to Allah Almighty's knowledge.
Allah azze ve celle'nin ilminde aklın, hayalin gelişmeyeceği
Allah Almighty's divine knowledge is beyond the capability of human imagination, of human mind.
ilimlerdir Allah azze ve celle'nin ilminde.
The knowledge of Allah Almighty is beyond the understanding and is beyond the capability of understanding of a human mind.
İnsan bazen insan öğrendim zannettiği vakit
People may think that they have learned something,
daha fazla cahil oluyor.
but as they claim to have learned something, they become more and more ignorant.
Daha fazla münkir oluyor.
And as they claim to know something, and as they become more and more ignorant, they also increase in their opposition to Allah Almighty.
Bazı insanlar öyledir. Ama Allah azze ve celle'yi en çok Allah'tan korkan alim.
This is how some people behave. But who are the ones who are fearful of Allah Almighty the most?
Alimlerdir. İlim
It is the true scholars, those who have knowledge, who through their knowledge increase in their humility and their fearfulness of Allah Almighty.
sahipleri. Hakiki ilim ki
Those who possess true knowledge humble themselves before Allah Almighty and become more and more conscious of their Lord Allah Almighty.
bu ilim dedikleri şey cehalete götüren var.
There are two types of knowledge. There's knowledge which may lead to ignorance,
Aynı ilim hidayete götüren olur.
however, that very same kind of knowledge may also be the means for somebody to be guided towards the right way.
Allah nasıl kısmet etmişse insana öyle olur. Allah onun
And it depends on how Allah Almighty has preordained and how He Almighty has predestined things to happen.
basiretini açıp da bu yolu Allah'a inancı kuvvetlendirsin diye olursa
Allah Almighty may open the vision and the understanding of a person so that he may be rightly guided, and then that knowledge may become the means for that person to be rightly guided.
o hayırlı oluyor. Aynı ilim bazen Allah Azze ve Celle'yi inkar etmeye,
However, the very same knowledge may be the means for a person to oppose and rebel against his Lord Allah Almighty.
olunca o da şer oluyor.
And this is how blessed knowledge and how evil or bad knowledge comes forth.
Bu Allah her şeyi hikmetten yarattım diyor.
Allah Almighty has created everything based on a wisdom,
Dağları, taşları,
whether it's the mountains, the stones,
onlar yerin sabitlemek için büyük, yani bu hikmetin bir hikmettir. O da dağlar
And there's a wisdom behind everything, just as mountains and stones make the surface of this earth to be firm.
için, ovalar için, her şey için ilim tabii.
And thus there's a knowledge and a wisdom behind everything.
İnsanlar bütün vakit araştırıyor, ediyor,
People constantly research,
bakıyor. Yani bakıyorsun, insanlar dağın başında gökyüzüne bakıyor.
and people try to understand, and they stand at the foot of a mountain and they look up to the skies.
Nasıl bakıyorsun? İşte duruyor yerinde. Neyine bakıyorsun diye. Ne ilimler çıkıyor ondan.
And as they stand there and as they look at the foot of a mountain towards the sky, they extract all kinds of knowledge from there.
İnsan oğlu bir şeye bile aklı ermiyor. Yani dünyadaki olan şeye bile aklı ermiyor. Artık Allah Azze ve Celle'nin
And there's so much knowledge in the things of this world that even for the things within this world, human mind is incapable of fully fathoming of what is happening.
ilmine kafa tutuyor bazı cahiller.
How can people then be so ignorant to oppose Allah Almighty's knowledge while they cannot even understand how things happen in this world?
Muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us from such ignorance.
Allah hakiki bütün öğrendiklerimizi güzel ilimler olsun.
May Allah Almighty make us reach true knowledge, knowledge that is beautiful, and may everything that we learn be beneficial and blessed.
Güzel ilim Allah'ı tanıtan ilim. Allah Azze.
What is beautiful knowledge? Beautiful knowledge is the knowledge that introduces Allah Almighty to you more and more.
Güzel tanıtan ilim ondan olsun inşallah.
May we reach that knowledge that introduces Allah Almighty to us and makes us learn more about Allah Almighty.
Okuyorlar şimdi milyonlarca insan.
People now study. Millions of people, they study.
Eskiden üniversite bir tane vardı bütün Türkiye'de. Şimdi
And in former times, for example in Turkey, there used to be just one university throughout the entire country.
binlerce üniversite var.
Now there are thousands of universities.
Dünyada desen milyonlarca üniversite var. Hepsi
And on a global scale, there are millions of universities.
okuyor, bir şey öğrensin diye.
And everyone studies and seeks knowledge in order to learn and understand something.
Öğrendikleri faydalı dedim olan Allah Azze ve Celle'ye giden yoldur.
And while they learn, people must not forget that useful or true knowledge is that knowledge that draws them nearer to Allah Almighty.
İkisi onlara şer olur. Allah muhafaza etsin. Hayırlı ilimler olsun inşallah.
Otherwise, the knowledge they will be learning will be bad and harmful knowledge. May Allah Almighty make us obtain beautiful, good, beneficial, blessed knowledge.
ومن الله التوفيق. الفاتحة.